between me and some coaches from Genji's Academy. Okay, so the goal of today now is for the next 2 hours roughly. It's going to be basically I'm gonna introduce to you guys on stream. I think it's called GGA, which is like a academy program that Genji leads. And basically, I mean, they're gonna tell you guys more about it. And then on top of that, we're gonna go, I think, over some Genji games that Genji has played this year, and also I think we're gonna talk about Worlds. What kind of meta there's gonna be at Worlds? Which teams do we think is the strongest? This and that. Okay. So let me join the call. Hello. Okay, no one's saying anything interesting. I'll talk about Forsen. No, we'll not talk about Forsen. I got Donald lol. Yeah, let me see what's happening. Hi. Hello.
Okay, can you? Okay.
Hello, hello, hi.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. It's pretty nice here.
Am I allowed to show the camera on stream or?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Feel free. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so welcome guys. I heard we are discussing some of the world speak today, and I heard you guys are gonna introduce what GGA is.
Yeah, so today we're gonna be introducing what GGA is. I'm gonna be like telling people what we are actually, what we do in Korea as an academy, and so on. Yeah. Should we introduce ourselves before we start?
Yeah, please introduce yourselves.
Yeah. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Alex. I'm a program manager for working in GGA, and so I made this program that we are launching in US, English GGA Play, and then next to me we have Cookie and Cedar. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and then introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hello, guys. I am Cookie. I am head coach of GGA League of Legends. I was played for OPL and I'm coaching Astralis Junghoon and Sandbox MB and Pabu, and I coach many pro gamers. And then I coaching for Korean rookies right now. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Cedar. I have been coaching in here for GGA since 2022 May. So my tier has been challenger for 5 years. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
I usually beat you. You play Hale, Veiga, and
Yeah.
Yone. I remember it.
What role do you play?
Oh, I usually play the Jix. My name is the Genji Shider is my role name.
Bottom Jix. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So to give you more context, Cedar is from our Genji Coach Academy program. So we ran a program to actually like have some like training for the coaches, and he's like the graduate from our Coach Academy program, and he's actually popular in Korea for actually rank 1 Zix player.
Ooh,
So some
okay.
of like even rulers sometimes ask him like which items like Zix
Yeah.
should go ADC. So he's pretty popular as a Zix main.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually let me just tell you guys more about GGA.
Yes.
So GGA is like Genji officially established academy in 2019. So we've been going on for like 3 years now, more than 4 years actually. So and right now we have about 1,000 active students.
That's crazy.
Community. So they're very heavy gamers who wants to be pro. And then we actually have amateur team. We're running amateur teams as well. So LAS, all our students are actually participating in LAS. and then we're actually trying really hard to actually promote them to our Challengers League as well.
Are these students like all over the world, or is it just US?
Korea market, we're actually the dominant one. We're rank 1 academy in Korea. Like there's no competitor at all. So we have a same business going on in China. And then finally, because we finished the domestic market, we're actually expanding our like GGA play into US.
Okay.
So we actually officially started our US play program I think last week. Yeah, last week we started.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, so we're here to actually tell you guys exciting news that we officially launched English Play. So you guys, if you guys are interested, you guys can just like look it up and then please like join our community.
Yeah, if anyone from US is interested in becoming a pro player, you guys can
Yeah,
write
so-
!GGA in the chat, and then there's a link there that you guys can look up and see if that's something you'll be interested in.
So we work in a PST, like Pacific time, but if you guys are like flexible with time, you can just like anyone who speaks English can actually like join our program, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you want to be pro, and then if you just want to like learn gaming casually, like we accept any gamers. And then we have a lot of events going on as well in our community for like ARM events, like ARM tournaments, like any like mini tournaments, like coach events as well. So like there's a lot of things to enjoy in our community. So just feel free to have a look and then just like ask any questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the next part was analyzing like Gen G, right? Like what we think about the players and how they match up at Worlds.
Yeah, we can actually go into analyzing our Gen G final games. We actually chose a game that we want to analyze and show, like what our coaches do in our academy. And then we chose to, I think, in LCK final game 1.
Yeah, game
Game
one.
one.
So we're gonna be sharing like our analysis on game 1, and then show you guys like how like deeply like you guys can go in, and then look at the game in different view from like maybe like ex pros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just before we start, we're doing a launch event, so it's like we do a promotion discount until end of September. It's first in first serve. We only have limited seats available. So actual price we start is $130, but it's discounted price, so it's $99
Until September.
until end of
Yeah.
September. So
Yeah.
please have a look.
If
Yeah.
you enjoy the game and if you want to play game more better and better, you can enjoy anytime. And what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? You can do the join the game with me with our coaches online. It is not the
Yeah.
offline.
So
You
it's-
can enjoy online.
But it's not about just teaching. We do have a community going on, very active, and then all our like pros, like ex-pro
yeah.
coaches are there. Any Q&As or like you can just like freely come and ask. And then there's like a lot of like just groups of people who just enjoys the game and then just like play with friends within our GGA community.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So should we just move on to like game 1 analysis?
Should I pull out the game in front of the screen or?
I think we can just pull out the game ourselves and then we can just lead the analysis.
Okay.
So yeah, just a moment and then we'll just turn on the game. Should we just share our screen?
Yeah, if that works.
Okay.
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 Okay. Alright.
어차피 게임만
화면 공유해 주죠.
as time. Just hold on.
화면 공유하지 않아.
Yeah,
No
it's
worries.
fine.
Yeah.
So tell us if the screen doesn't show properly, and then if there's any questions, like feel free to ask, and then
It works. It works.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then Cookie's gonna lead the way, and I'll be helping along.
네.
So
You know, 잠시만요.
제가 도와드릴게요.
네.
백핸드부터 얘기할까요?
부터요? 오케이.
So
네.
let's just get the story behind
Mm.
coming up to LCK finals. Like what T1 usually was doing with the pick and ban was they're actually like prioritizing Aatrox a
Mm.
lot. And then I think it was a very problem that no team actually punished first pick Aatrox ever.
Mhm.
So I think like this one game one is like a very good example of how usually when Aatrox was in meta, like how other teams punish first pick Aatrox. So I know like it's a very interesting pick and ban because like Camille and Talia hasn't been actually been shown a lot in LCK, but we actually prepared because we knew T1's gonna actually favor picking Aatrox.
예.
And then it was so obvious because T1 really didn't have a time to practice more champions because they were busy playing their ways up the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then I think the Talia pick was very the tricky pick because most of SK players predict the carrier carrier will pick engage support like Rakan, Nautilus, Alistar.
Yeah.
So we just blind pick Talia first, and then we prevent let carrier don't give any engage champion,
Mhm.
and then we blind pick Jerry and Rakan, which they are very they easily lose to lane priority, so they ban Lulu, and it makes they don't pick Apelius and Lulu combo, and then they don't give they don't take line priority, and then they don't have tail
Scaling.
scaling.
It's actually interesting because like when we were actually winning every games in LCK, like we actually lost when we actually lost to KT. I think there's a huge portion because we actually gave them the Lulu.
네.
Mhm.
So we actually a lot of them like Genji's pretty like careful with giving Lulus in these like big games. 혹시 한국말로 하면 제가 번역해도 돼요?
네, 알겠습니다. 네.
Cookie's just gonna say it in Korean and I'm just gonna translate.
Yeah, that's maybe better.
better. Okay.
그냥 편하게 해주세요.
네. 그럼 게임으로 넘어갈까?
네네.
뱀핑 얘기했으니까.
Let's just move into the games.
Okay.
여기에서 우리가 게임을 봐야 할 때 그 메인으로 봐야 되는 거는 결국에는 그 밸류 조합으로 갔을 때 오브젝트 싸움이 강제가 될 때 궁극기의 가치가 얼마나 중요하나가 팀파이트에서 굉장히 좀 중요한 부분을 차지하고 있는데 그 3일과 탈리아의 울트를 굉장히 젠지가 잘 활용했던 경기였다라고 생각합니다.
So because the meta is pretty late game meta, and then it's actually like objective driven, like the ultimates on champions are very important. And the cooldowns and stuff. And then this game is a very good example of how Genji actually very nicely utilized Talia's and Camille's ulti. And then more Sejuani's like cooldowns actually shorter than like Maokai's ulti, and then it's a huge factor like in the objective like later in the game, and the Cookie's probably gonna show.
Yeah, makes sense. I agree with that.
중요한 장면만.
네, 중요한 건 한번 보죠. 그래서 6분 30초 타이밍.
Let's see the important scenes.
잠시만요. 첫공 활용하는 게
So we're trying to look
Yeah.
for when Talia first uses ulti. 아트록스 잡는 거 말하는 거죠.
네, 맞아요. 여기 타
여기다,
네,
여기에요.
여기
It was here
맞죠.
somewhere.
여기 장면에서 디테일을 얘기하자면은 그 이제 젠지 입장에서는 상대랑 교전에서 밸류가 좀 밀리기 때문에 전령을 포기하고 당연히 전령을 포기했으니까 T1 입장에서는 상대방이 아래로 내려오겠다라고 생각해서 원래는 그 루시안 나미가 압박을 거세게 해야 되는데 상대방이 이제 전령을 포기했으니까 아래쪽으로 뻔해서 오히려 라인을 좀 푸시를 세게 못하고 사리게 되었고 그걸 알아서 이제 아트록스는 당연히 상대방 아래 있으니까 나 세게 해도 되겠다 라고 해서 아트록스는 되게 세게 하는 모습이에요. 그리고 실제로도 탈리아를 보면은 살짝 아래 무빙을 해서 나도 내려간다 라고 페이크를 줘요.
So because T1 have a stronger like comps in like mid, jungle, and top, so it was actually like we actually gave out Herald to T1 because we give out Herald. Like what T1 thinks is that our jungler Pina could be like playing downside.
Yeah.
So Aatrox is actually playing more aggressively because they just took Herald, and then likely Genji's like Peanuts is obviously like playing like bot jungle.
Yeah,
But
cross map.
like thing is actually interesting because Chovy's Talia right now in mid, he actually pretends to go down bot lane to like maybe like pressure like we kind of make it like we're gonna pressure
Yeah.
T1's bot lane.
Like foreman dive. Yeah.
But we actually reverse swipe at it and then Talia actually goes top lane and then actually we punish Aatrox. So there's like a very small details where like Chovy pretends like he was going to go bot lane and then he just like comes like and ultis top and then kills Aatrox.
Yeah, so he's
So we'll-
using the fog of war very well.
Yeah, Fogo wall, and then he was likely to think like obviously they usually track like laners usually track junglers. So Aatrox like Zeus was like thinking like it's so obvious that Sejuani is like bot jungle. And then he was playing more aggressive, like more relaxed. And then that like just between that time, Talia ultis top and then we punish Aatrox first time.
그리고 여기에서 공교환했던 게 잠시만요. 이제 저희가 이제 두 가지 장면을 볼 건데요. 첫 번째 장면은 저희가 이제 삼룡을 먹기 전 타이밍, 지금 여기로 보면 잘 안 보이는데 이게 용 나오기 2분 전 타이밍이에요. 그래서 보통은 첫 번째 공은 2분 내지만은 두 번째 이제 아이템이 나오고 코어팀 나온 이후부터는 궁극기가 2분 내외, 1분 30초 내외의 궁극기를 가지고 있어서 지금 타이밍에 한번 사이드를 좀 무리하게 밀고 있는 제이스를 자르는데 궁을 활용을 하고 그 이후에 상대방도 이거를 마오카이 공이 이때 저희가 이제 탑에서 제이스를 잘랐으니까 탑 라인 커버하러 빈 탑을 이제 커버하러 온 제우스를 자르려고 시도를 했고 여기 아쉽게도 이제 카밀의 이가 아트에 끊겨가지고 실패하게 했지만은 그래서 저희가 이제 상대방이 노리는 거에 좀 손해를 보긴 하죠. 하지만 젠지가 계산한 거는 A단추 우리가 아트록스를 자르는 게 목적이 아니었고 이 교전에서 승리한 게 목적이 아니었고 우리는 사용을 먹는 게 승리 플랜인데 사용을 먹기 전에 상대방에게 교전을 응하게 만들어서 마오카이 궁극기가 빠졌을 때 우리가 다소 몇 명 죽더라 하더라도 상대방은 이 싸움을 호응하기 위해서 마오카이 플래시라든가 핵심 스킬들이 빠졌고 얘기했어요.
No. So before we look into timers, so like Genji's main like winning condition is to get 4 dragons in this
Yeah.
game. So what we were focusing in this game is that we were trying to so usually like about this time, like ulti cooldown is usually between 90 seconds to up to 2 minutes. So we're actually focusing so we start off with killing Jace, who was split pushing, but he was a bit far in. And then we're trying to force more fights in top lane and sides before like about 2 minutes dragon spawns. Because we know as long as we like force T1 to use ulti in some way before like 1 or 2 minutes the dragon fights, then obviously their ulti dependence way more heavier than ours team comp.
Mm-hmm.
And then way more advantage in dragon fight. And then our winning condition is for like like Dragon Soul. So we're trying to create more skirmishes about 2 minutes or like 1 or 2 minutes before Dragon like actually spawns. So that was what Genji was actually really focusing hard. So even though we actually like it would have been great if we actually killed Aatrox here, but more important part is that we actually made Maokai use ulti and they burn TP and Aatrox ulti and everything. And then if you guys can look at here, the dragon timer is about 1 minute.
Yeah.
So even though we lose Thorin here, the next dragon fight, it's gonna be so advantage to us. And then our winning condition is obviously, like I said, multiple times the Dragon Soul.
Yeah.
So yeah.
네, 그래서 그 결과로
And as a result,
네,
왜 잘하고 있는데
네.
왜요?
그 결과로 이제 용싸움을 했을 때 원래라면은 마오카이와 나미가 궁을 쓰면서 이 진영을 붕괴했지만은 T1은 궁극기가 없었고 그래서
네.
오히려 젠지가 먼저 인게이지를 통해서 승리하게 된 장면이었습니다.
yeah, so usually it's really hard for us to hit the objectives first against T1's comp because they have Maokai and Nami who can just like ambush us from like anywhere. So it's so hard for us to take the objective control, but they have no ultis in this team fight. But T1 actually we actually forced T1 to a team fight here because like it's so obvious T1 doesn't want to give us the third dragon. Because if they give us the third dragon, they're gonna be like dragged along the whole game. And the Genji will have so much advantage. Like in any we can just split, we can just give up dragon and then take Baron, and we have so much more options and like availability.
Mm-hmm.
So like and then it's interesting in this backstage because like Doran the players were saying don't engage, but
예.
Doran actually engages by himself here, but
Yeah, he kind of looks like he gets caught, but it actually works out.
and there was like a super play by Rakan as well, and then Camille obviously Dorn did a huge the Hourglass play. And then as a result, yeah, we took third dragon and we even won the team fight. But this is all like it's all connected. So even though we lost the last team fight, like we actually knew dragon was coming up. We knew it was third dragon. And then it's kind of like we actually forced T1 to be in an uncomfortable situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we did actually really well in this game.
네, 그래서 이제 젠지의 강점은 라인전이 뛰어나고 팀파이트가 잘하는 것도 있지만은 이제는 이런 풀타임의 차이를 이용해서 LPL처럼 난전 스커미시도 되게 강력한 팀이 되었다. 팀파이트를 잘하기 위해서 그 전에 설계를 잘할 수 있는 팀이 되었다가 가장 강점인 것 같다.
Yeah. So when Genji, when we first became a team, what we did, what we were good at, was just like laning phase. We were very good at laning phase, and in the second stage, we actually become better in team fights. And now we actually we calculate our cooldowns and team comps and ulti cooldowns. So we're becoming more we're even like better in skirmishes now. 네.
네. 그리고 다음 거는 뭐야? 네. 젠지 거 뭔지 도 있나?
Does Genji
So-
track like cooldowns via chat of ultimates?
챗으로 상대방 쿨타임 트래킹 하는지 보죠.
네, 그 딜라이트가 체크하는 걸 알고
Yeah,
있어요.
so what Cookie said is that Delight is the person responsible for tracking like the ulti cooldowns.
Who?
딜라이트.
Yeah, Delight is the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, we can actually take Q&A and then like ask coaches and then we can answer it. So it's like we just wanted to share this part because like we want to show that just more than like there's like a lot going on behind the scene. Than
Yeah.
what we actually just see, yeah. And then it's like all connected. It just snowballs slowly and slowly and slowly.
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
there's any question. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Nemesis?
Well, I'm surprised that you. I guess I'm surprised that people are like you guys are tracking ultimate cooldowns, because I feel like in this meta right now, ult cooldowns are so short that they're kind of up like for every fight. So it's like kind of hard to track. Also, there's so much cooldown reduction in the game that you probably don't track it completely accurately, but probably like more estimated, I would say.
I think it's kind of they got used to tracking it because the Maokai and Vi and like all those like ulti-dependent jungle champions have been in meta for a very long time.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's gonna be interesting to see the walls because the walls patch it actually changes the jungle into more like skirmish spaces.
Yeah.
From like in team fights and objective driven.
Where can I get this coaching?
So yeah, if there's no questions, I think we can just move on to maybe like we can talk more about the teams that's actually gonna compete in Worlds
Yeah.
2023.
Mhm.
And then we can actually maybe do like power ranking and stuff
Yeah.
by region. And then which team's gonna be doing good. Because a lot of meta actually going to change. It's changing a lot. And then obviously the jungle. So before the meta, like no, not before the meta. The previous metas are more focused on ADCs
Mhm.
and team fight objectives. But if we see the patches coming along, it's more going to be focused on skirmishes. So it's going to be like top laner, jungle, and mid is going to be more important than ADC. And then Riot obviously nerfed hyper carry ADCs as well, like Jerry, Zaya. They nerfed Kai'Sa as well. Yeah, they nerfed Kai'Sa as well. So and then they buffed Jhin and like
Senna.
Senna.
Yeah.
So they want less control, but like less carry by ADC. So it's gonna be more interesting to see like early skirmishes in Worlds. But like, yeah, we can actually like look at the teams competing, and then we can do our own personal rankings.
Mhm.
And it's just like what we think. So please like it's not the right answer or like wrong answer, but like we're just gonna say which teams are gonna be good. Maybe we can look into player as well and give you guys more details why we think that way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. I think China and Korea will be the best.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and I'm a bit scared of China.
Yeah, I mean, JDG is looking quite strong.
Yeah, so let us actually like look up teams that's actually competing. Or can you pop it up, Nemesis, and then we can just look at your stuff.
Where exactly am I supposed to go?
Just like maybe I'm just gonna Google like teams competing. Well, it's like
리그피디아 어때요? 리그피디아에서 퀄리파이 되는 팀 리스트.
okay. I think it's here.
화면 공유 아마 다시 해야 될 거예요.
Oh, my screen is not shared. Oh, can you see my screen or?
젠지 T1으로 돼 있어요 지금.
Yeah, I can see it.
아, 전에요.
Yeah. So these are the teams competing in 2023.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Should I start or do you guys want to start?
어떻게 할까?
어느 지역부터 할 건지 정한 다음에 얘기하면 될 것 같은데요.
누가 먼저 할까요? 네메시스가부터 할지 저희가 먼저 할지. How about you start and then we'll give our
인포 주는
opinions
거예요.
as well.
Okay, so I think I think Genji and Teamon are gonna be the best teams from Korea. I'm not like as confident as on the other two. And then I think from China, probably all four teams are gonna be very strong, with JDG being the best team. From EU, I think G2 is the best team, and the other two are weaker. And then from North America, honestly, they're probably on the similar level of Fnatic and Mad Lions, so I would probably put them somewhere there.
I see. Maybe Cookie wants to. Do you want to rank up as well? Who's gonna do good? Who's gonna do bad?
일단 한국부터 얘기하자면은 생각보다 물론 젠지와 T1이 잘하는 건 당연하지만은 생각보다 T1과 디플러스 기아도 강세를 보일 수 있다고 생각합니다.
What Cookie thinks is that obviously he thinks like Genji is gonna do well, but at the same time T1 and D plus gonna be doing like they have a huge potential of doing good in Worlds.
왜냐하면은 그 패치 버전이 바뀜에 따라서 탑 정글의 교전력이 뛰어날수록 유리한 메타이기 때문에 이제 LCK 팀들이 대부분 뭐 제우스 오너, 긴 커즈 그리고 이제 칸나 캐년이 있을 때 정글러들이 다 교전을 굉장히 잘하고 탑도 탱커챔 메타에서 이제 좀 더 브루저 계로 넘어갔을 때 교전 변수를 많이 보여줄 수 있는 팀들이기 때문에 아무래도 EU와 얘네를 만났을 때 좀 더 라인전부터 많이 강력한 모습을 보일 것 같다라고 생각합니다.
The reason why he thinks T1 and U Plus are gonna do well is that because the meta shift from bot lane to actually like jungle and top. So and then T1 obviously like owner and Kenyon really prefers to play very aggressive jungler.
Mm-hmm.
And then and like Kanna, they're actually like famous for like being like really aggressive in laning as well. So that's why it could be things they're gonna be like a lot of like I think the turning point like decision like deciding points in games are gonna be like who's gonna be doing better skirmishes in early stages. And then if we look at the history of like this 2023, like T1 and D Plus is like the ones like who usually gets leads from doing small skirmishes through Canyon and maybe owner from T1.
LPL로 넘어가면은 징동과 BLG가 잘할 것으로 BLG가 잘할 거는 못 예상하겠지만은 LNG와 웨이버는 생각보다 고전을 면치 않을 좀 어려워할 수도 있다라고 생각해요. 왜냐하면은 LNG 같은 경우에는 스카웃이 많은 것을 역할을 해줬었는데 이제 레인에서 레인 프로젝트를 확실하게 가져올 수 있는 챔피언들이 대부분 너프가 되는 메타고 그리고 탑이 좀 아쉬운 느낌이 있어서 LNG는 이제 스카웃과 갈라 선수가 캐리를 많이 해야 되는데 그런 메인 챔프들이 많이 바뀌는 게 아쉬운 부분이 있습니다.
So for LPL, what Cookie thinks is that no question Jingdong and Billy is gonna do well, but he thinks LNG and Weibo's gonna have a bit hard time in group stage because especially for LNG, they're very dependent on Scout. And then Scout usually gets laning phase leads, and then it actually like just helps out his whole team by getting the laning like priority.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rice have been nerfing a lot of mid lane champions like Azir as well, which it's one of the Scout's favorite champions.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks like the mid lane dependency on LNG is very high, but they're nerfing a lot of mid lane champions. So he thinks in group stage like LNG and Weibo might have a difficult time.
Mm-hmm.
But no one should like ask for Jindong and Billy. They're just gonna dominate. Yeah.
Yeah.
근데 뭐 시저 코치님은 어떻게 생각하는지.
저는 사실 정말 그 아까 쿠키 코치님 말씀했다시피 징동과 비리비리 게이밍이 너무 기대가 좀 되는 부분이 솔직히 그냥 어느 정도 왜냐하면은 정말 잘해요. 그 징동이나 비리비리 게이밍. 그래서 사실은 물론 저는 한국이 우승하길 기대하겠지만 정말 중국도 그
네.
한국에 대적할 만한 정말 만만치 않은 전력이다. 정말 긴장을 정말 한국에서도 많이 할 수밖에 없는 전력이다라고
솔롱에서
생각해요.
만나봤으니까.
네네. 워낙 잘합니다.
Yes, I just asked Sijo what he thinks about LPL standing as well. Like he just says like Jindong and Billy's are near like their game plays are near perfect. And then the meta is actually shifted towards like even more favor towards Jindong Gaming and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, he actually worries that Koreans might have a difficult time in this world's like upcoming worlds. Because their laning phase and then the early skirmishes are like just like crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Let's just like move on to EMEA and North America. Should we
네.
just start off with NA first? So
네.
okay, let's just like interestingly like NRG actually won
아,
LCS. So what do you guys think about this one? Why do you guys think NRG like actually came first? What is the big 그러니까 제일 중요한
네.
파트가 뭐였는지 왜 우승하실 수 있었고?
드래프트가 가장 중요했던 것 같죠.
에픽.
Cook like because NRG did a huge upset like because I think they were like ranked 5 coming into playoffs, and then they actually like won LCS. And then I asked him the reason why. What was the biggest reason that Energy could do really well? And Cookie thinks it's the draft they did.
그
Mhm.
약점이 명확한 만큼 그것을 뱀픽으로 잘 숨겼다고 생각을 해요. 그래서 약한 라인전 단계를 넘길 수 있는 메타 챔프를 카운터 수 있는 카드도 많이 준비했고 시리즈 중에서도 우리가 준비한 픽뿐만 아니라 핵심 픽으로 상대방이 너무 잘 쓰는데 우리가 대처 못하는 픽 같은 것도 빠르게 뺏어오거나 밴을 해가지고 그런 걸로 잘 이겼습니다.
Yeah, he thinks they did a very good job in the draft, because like Energy's weakness is like the early stage laning phases, but they actually did really well to like hide and then actually cover all those like weaknesses. So I think for a good example, they were using Rumble Ignite.
예.
And it's really hard to take like Ignite spot. They actually use Ignite, yeah. To
Yeah.
like cover these like weaknesses that teams have. But upcoming to Worlds, who do you think are gonna be like doing good in it?
아, 나 아니지.
Let's choose one. Let's just choose one.
좋습니다.
Who do you think is gonna do best?
I
in-
think probably. I mean, I think energy is probably gonna be the best any team.
Oh,
음.
is there a reason why you think that way?
I think Cloud9 might. I mean, honestly, I would choose Cloud9, but they've been having some drama recently, and I'm not sure how that's gonna affect them. I'm not a huge believer in Team Liquid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we just move on to EMEA? LEC?
Yeah, sure.
Who do you said G2, right?
Yeah, I
yes,
think
yeah.
G2 is for sure the best team.
Is there
알겠습니다.
yeah, we think the same as well. Obviously G2 is gonna like kill it. And then personally, my favorite team like that I'm really willing to see
Mhm.
is G2 as well. Because I believe that Yike is like really like he's talented in all those like very aggressive jungles and early skirmishes. But they actually even won LEC finals. But like I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see when Yikes plays on like Nilly and like Lee Sins, all
Yeah.
these like aggressive rules, not like Sejuani's like Maokai's and like I think he was playing a lot of rails as well. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of G2 as well. So and then I think they're just gonna make the game so much more interesting. Like they do like unique picks like Olaf top as well.
Yeah, they do. They do. They're the most interesting team. They're the most innovative team. And I think they have the best players as well.
Yeah, sure.
브로큰 블레이드가 시리즈 중에서 좀 팀이 어려울 때도 캐리한 모습 많이 보여줘가지고 그래서 탑 메탈 때도 잘할 것 같아요.
Yeah, so Cookie said that Broken Blade was like he was there to support the team and carry the team when teams are having trouble. And then the meta shifted towards like top lane jungle, like top jungle and mid. So he's very like interested to see like how Broken Blade performs
Mhm.
in this new upcoming meta.
나이크가 벨베스랑 브라이어도 쓰지 않을까요? 그 스타일이라면.
어떤 거랑 어떤 거요?
벨베스랑 브라이어요.
Oh, so he said Yike might use Briar, the new champion, and Velves.
Oh, is Briar is available at Worlds?
어,
가능한가요?
아직 공지가 안 돼서 모르겠어요.
So there was no like official announcement made by Riot if Briar is gonna be available in Worlds or not. But if it is, I think Cookie thinks Yike is the only person who could like actually show off first.
Well, I've heard it's not enabled, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, let's just see. But it'll be more entertaining to watch.
I
if
agree.
we can. But Riot doesn't really like uncertainty, so let's see what they
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I think that's about the part. Yeah, I think that's about it. Does people want to ask anything?
Maybe I want to ask, like, what do you guys think is like the difference between the meta we've seen in playoffs and the meta we're gonna see at Worlds?
메타가
네.
플레이오프에서 봤던 메타랑 그 월즈에서 볼 메타 중에 뭐 다른 점 정리하자면.
정리하자면은 그 아이템과 챔피언의 패치로 인해서 원딜의 밸류가 떨어지고 상체 밸류가 올랐고 미드에서 핵심적으로 가져왔던 주도권 챔피언들이 많이 너프가 됐다. 아지르 같은 게 좀 덜 나오게 될 수 있다.
그래서 탑이랑 정글이 진짜 중요해.
네, 많이 중요하다.
So before the playoff meta was all about like who can have like the who's better in ADC, like who has more items on ADC. So it's all about bot lane.
Yeah.
But now it actually shifted more. We think we actually shifted more towards top lane and jungle. They've been nerfing a lot, like the main picks in mid lanes. So I think the interesting parts to look into upcoming worlds is that like top lane and jungle, like early skirmishes as well.
스태틱 너프가 많이 컸.
Yeah, the setting nerf was huge for bot lane as well. So
Static
yeah, I
shoe?
think it's gonna static shift.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really interesting to see. Like, there's gonna be a lot of like top metas. Like, whoever like breaks down first will actually like impact the game hugely in top lane. So yeah, people are saying like
네,
Giga Bins,
재밌게,
like Bin,
네.
Yeah.
like yeah, Billy's like they could actually win worlds. I think I'm a huge fan of Bin as well. I think he's like the most like monstrous like top laner currently existing. Yeah, but I think Bin could like 1v like
Yeah, I agree. 1v9.
they should like carry everyone.
Finish really valuable player.
Yeah, just such a player in top lane. So yeah, so that's what we think in the upcoming worlds. So
Makes
more
sense.
skirmish pieces. So it's gonna be more entertaining to see.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Giga Bean.
Yeah, been 369 obviously as well, like, and then the Shy, they even have the Shy. So I think China's gonna have a very strong hold upcoming like group stage, because every top laner in China LPL are like just crazy. The Shy, Ben, 369.
Do you guys have a predict, like do you guys have like a team that you guys are gonna you guys think is gonna get like the last spot between BDS and I think it's GGS or whatever it's called, the North American team?
BDS랑 골든 가디언 중에 누가
Yeah.
이길 것 같은지.
저는 BDS가 이길 것 같아요.
Who thinks BDS are gonna be the ones winning?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask for the reason?
그 골든 가디언스가 MSI 때랑 비교했을 때 솔리드한 게 많이 무너졌는데 BDS는 마당 선수가 되게 아이코닉한 것도 맞겠지만은 최호 선수 같은 정글 포함해서 되게
They're building up.
네, 좀 더 GG보다 그 WQS 메타 때가 더 퍼포먼스 좋았어가지고 이길 거라고 생각합니다.
So yeah, so Cookie thinks BDS are gonna be the ones taking the last spot, because Golden Guardians, they did really well in MSI seasons, but like he thinks they're going downhill. But like for BDS, they have a lot to more show and a lot to improve as well. So he sees more upsides, like he sees more like possibilities for BDS to like actually take the last spot.
I agree.
Yeah, so like like if you just look at the games that Golden Guardians actually showed, personally I don't think it's gonna get fixed in like short time. They need more time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was asking if we already talked about GDG, like JDG. We didn't really talk deeply about it because like it's so obvious that like I think JDG is like one of the most dominant team upcoming worlds. And then
Yeah.
their team is near perfection. Like their mid lane's good, top lane's good, jungle's like crazy. Like
Yeah.
even like bot lane,
They are all
Like,
the
yeah.
aces.
네.
it's like a dream team of like every ace players.
Yeah, it's very hard to find a weakness in that team. They just have really insane players and they can play everything. They're good at everything. It's
Yeah.
tough.
그 월드 버전에서는 세나 탐켄치나 그 드락사르 카이사 같은 좀 특이한 빌드의 원딜도 많이 나오는데 룰러 선수라면 너프된 저희라도 란전 이기고 캐리할 것 같아요.
Oh, so what Cookie said is that there was like a huge nerfs in ADCs, like hyper carry ADCs were all nerfed.
Yeah.
But Cookie kind of believes that even though there was like a huge nerf in ADCs, like items and stuff, like the champions, but he believes like rule will just like just destroy everyone anyways with those champions, even though they're nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just want to say like how dominant Ruler's performance was upcoming seasons. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
not upcoming, like the previous seasons that he actually showed, like LPS summer and spring.
아칼리가 좋을 것 같냐라는 질문이 있네요.
실제로 많이 좋아요. 미드에서 블라인드 피로도 나올 만큼 좋아요.
So someone asked what we think about Kaisa. I think Kaisa is very good right now. We can actually even like first pick Kaisa and then rotate it into mid lane.
맞아.
So and then there's a lot of flexibility available on Kaisa as well. So I think Kaisa is one of the champions that a lot of teams are gonna be focusing on grabbing during the pick and bans.
I saw like a new build on Kaiser right now with like Umbral Glaive and then Duskblade and then Nashors. It's looking. Some people think it's very strong.
Yeah. So yeah, we're testing it as well.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of students asking about like Kaisa's like item trees as well. But we're at the stage where we're actually like studying it. But I think there's like I think it's like really good. Yeah, Broken Blade Kaiser, like yeah, Dusk Blade Kaiser could be a thing.
Her Q is insane.
Yeah, her career damage is insane with lethality. Yeah. Any more questions? We can actually take more questions from the people, and then we can just do more Q&As. No problem as well.
People. Some
Jen?
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
People
What
asking
about
about
Jen?
Jin.
Jin got a buff as well. So I think early stage of the worlds, like teams gonna be like trying out nerfed hyper ADCs, and then there's gonna be teams who's gonna be trying out like the buff Jins and Senna, maybe Senna Tom Kench. Like I think there'll be some teams showing off like Senna Tom Kench as well. But as the group stage goes on, like it's gonna be kind of clear which meta will be more suited. But early stage of the group stage, it's so obvious. Like a lot of teams gonna be trying out like hyper carry ADC comp or like carry top meta. But we don't know like what is the right answer. But like as the games goes on in like group stages, like teams will actually like practice more towards like what they believe in.
What do you guys think is the least important role right now?
제일 안 중요한 것 같은 라인.
제일 안 좋은 라인. What I guess?
봇 중에 또 어디?
Let me give my insight first. I think it's gonna be. To be honest, I think it could be ADC.
ADC.
If the meta actually get fixed into like non-carry ADCs, I think the ADC is gonna be the role, like most like less important.
Yeah, many ADC users usually practice the Jin, Jix, CBL.
Yeah,
CBL.
Yeah,
if the meta gets fixed into like Ziggs, like Jin, like some like maybe Ash,
Yeah.
line clear.
yeah, the lane clearing ADCs, like I think the ADC is gonna be the least important. But we don't know the answer. Some team might be good with the hyper carry ADCs, like ADCs. Then most like obviously they're the most important.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Too many nerfs.
Yeah, but it's different in solo queue as well. But I'm not gonna say which lane.
말씀하세요.
원딜이 또 약할 수밖에 없는 게 아이템은 없겠지만은 그웬이나 좀 형체 조합이 되게 뭐 그웬이나 아칼리 같은 게 되게 잘 컸을 때 원딜로 대처하는 게 좀 많이 어려워진 게 큰 것 같아요.
Yeah. So what Cookie Star is saying as well, like he thinks like ADCs could have a tough time as well because like there's a huge like I think we think Gwen's gonna be meta in top lane, and then when Akali is like huge, like if Akali was like have few items, like maybe one item, they can still like one shot ADCs. So yeah, I think we think ADCs are gonna have a tough time.
그리고 그웬의 티어는 정말 높을 거라고 생각해요. 정글마저도 이제 버프가 되었기 때문에 탑 정글이 둘 다 수합이 되는 픽으로서 아마 가치가 어느 정도 그 1티어 아니면
Yeah.
1.5티어 정도 될 거라 생각합니다.
So we might think, I think there's gonna be a lot of teams prioritizing Gwen as well because she could be used in jungle and top lane, and then she's so strong right now. And then we're testing out Gwen's in our scrims as well. She's just so dominant. Like she's like the most dominant champion in game currently,
Mm-hmm.
along with Aatrox as well. Aatrox is like unkillable demon.
Oh, Aatrox is still being played.
Yeah, Aatrox is still played.
What about Jarvan nerfs?
Jarvan nerf? 자르반 너프는 어떻게 생각하는지?
자르반 너프는 꽤 크지만 그래도 팀에서는 콤보를 위해서 조합을 위해서 계속 쓰고 있는 추세예요. 그래서 뽀삐가 되게 티어가 높아서 뽀삐를 배냈을 때는 자르반 티어가 꽤 높은 편이에요. 지금 한국에서.
So even though there was a huge nerf with J4, but I think he's still he's still a good pick. Depend when we're building up a comp around it, and then as long as like Poppy's like as long as Poppy's ban, we still think like J4 is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
그리고 탈리아에 대한 질문이 나왔는데 탈리아 같은 경우 사실 돌진 챔피언이 계속 이제 브루저 메타 계속 들어오는 챔피언들이 많다 보니까 그런 조합 상대로 언제든지 나올 수 있는 픽이라 생각합니다. 그래서 어느 정도는 이제 자주 볼 수 있지 않나 생각해요.
So what Cedar said is that we could see more Talia coming up as well because there's going to be a lot of bruisers, and then bruisers tend to have a lot of dashes, and then
Yeah.
they used to they're like very engaging champions. So we might see like bit more Talia as well to counter those comp.
그리고 미드에서는 블라인드 픽 크산테가 엄청 많이 나올 거예요. 실제로도 지금 크산테를 거의 1픽으로 받고 시작해서 타일리아든 아칼리든 그런 대부분의 미드 챔피언 상대로 크산테가 유리하는데 크산테를 원래 더 셌던 아질 같은 메이 챔피언들이 다 안 좋아져서 못 뚫어내고 있어요 지금 크산테를.
So one of the huge pick for mid lane we think is Cassante because there were like a lot of nerfs happening in mid lane majors as well, and then Cassante is like if he's like just picked, it's really hard to counter Cassante as well, and then he's very strong in like early skirmishes, and then he's just strong like throughout the whole game.
Yeah, that champ is insane.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous thing that what Showmaker said about Cassante. Is a champion with like 5,000 AP, like a lot of armor and magic resist.
Is
And
that like a
then-
meme in Korea too?
It's a meme in Korea. Someone like the Nightbot actually posted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassante could be rotated anywhere. Same with Gwen. It could be rotated into mid and top as well. And then he's just one of the very strong pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
이거 어때요?
오리아나 버프요?
Oriana buff. What we think about Oriana buff? What do you think about the Oriana?
솔랭에서는 많이 쓰고 있는 게 맞는데 스크림에서는 아직까지는 오리아나를 적극적으로 실험하는 팀은 많지 않다고 들었어요. 왜냐하면은 오리아나가 주권을 잡아도 우리가
정글 때문에.
네 그런 것 때문에 도전 메타에서 좀 힘쓰기 어려워서.
So Oriana, we know she's good in solo queue, but there's not many teams practicing her in scrims
Really?
because like we said, like because the jungle meta is very aggressive, and then like it's like a early skirmish is very important, and then Oriana is like one of those like scaling mid lane champion, and even though she gets a lead, it's so easy to pick it off if she gets skanked as well. So like, but we have to see because they did give a huge buff to Oriana. But right now, like more teams, like as of Korea, we're like teams are more focused on like Cassante, Jace. Yeah, because like they're just stronger in early game skirmishes.
그래서 오리아나 같은 거 고를 때는 제이스나 크산테 같이 라인 센 챔프가 없고 요네 같이 라인 약한 거를 먼저 픽했을 때 퍼니시하기용으로 나오고 있는
Yeah.
게.
So Cookie said Oriana is a really good pick to when someone just blind picks, blind first pick like maybe champions like Yone.
Yeah.
And then we can look into using her. But like if we were to like just first pick mid lane first, yeah, we don't think Oriana is that important. Like we don't think it is a that important champion. There's too many other champions that's like to take in mid
네.
lane. Yeah.
I think Oriana is OP, but we'll see.
Yeah,
네.
so yeah, we have to see.
네.
We don't know. Like, yeah, she seems broken. I do believe. And then usually, if champions are broken in solo queue, we tend to practice and
Yeah.
then we use it afterwards. Will mid lane be like global ulti roamings? 미드 로밍 챔피언 많이 나올 것 같은데.
뭐 펜나 갈료가 그렇게 티어가 높은 챔피언은 아니라고 생각해서 오히려 이렇게 상체가 센 메탈 때는 레벨링이 되게 중요하거든요. 그래서 아까 오리아나 얘기랑 이어지는 건데 오리아나가 라인전이 아무리 세도 사이드에서 뭐 사일러스나 아칼리 같은 걸 1대1로 만났을 때 사이드라인 정리가 하기가 어려워져서 이제는 141보다는 145을 많이 하는데 145 할 때 오리아나가 힘받기가 많이 어려워요. 그렇기 때문에 글로벌 챔프는 그러한 오리아나보다도 사이드 관리하는 게 좀 더 뭐 합류는 좋겠지만은 웨이브 주도권을 만든 게 어려워가지고 좋진 않다 생각합니다.
For like a roaming mid lane champions like Galio and Toasted Fae, like we don't think it's gonna be that important in upcoming worlds. Because like right now, because it's like really a skirmish meta, like the level up is so important. And then like there's too many champions that's just too strong early game. And then obviously we need to have side pushers like side pushing, and then we use global ultis to actually like help them like maybe just like get advantage doing rotations or stuff. But it's more just like a meta just when we just like fight to fight, like more than rotations. So I think it's gonna be more focus based, like on fightings. So we don't think like the roaming's gonna be like roaming mid champions are gonna be like that important.
except 탈리아.
Except Talia,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Cannon's buff? We think Cannon is it's a huge buff. Like the ulti cooldown is like insane. Like she pretty much have ulti every time. So yeah, Cannon. I think Cannon could be one of the favorite pick as well.
그래서 실제로 보통 블라인드 픽으로 미드로 크산테 제이스를 먼저 뽑다 보니까
Yeah.
AP를 채울 때 탑10으로 많이 채우고 있어요.
Because like there's a lot of blind picks in mid lanes with like Kasante and Jace and stuff. So we do need to cover some AP, and then it usually happens in top lane with cannons.
Yeah. Cannon
And-
or Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen and Rumble. We see
Yeah.
we see a lot of Rumble as well right now. A lot of people were asking what we think about Lee Sin. Yeah, I think Lee Sin would kill it.
예.
네.
And
He's gonna be the most like I think he could be the most played champions for jungle as well. So it's Lee Sin, Lily. It's gonna be interesting like to see all those like skirmishes happening.
처음에 1, 2, 3 뱀픽할 때 블라인드 픽으로 리신 르블랑을 인선수락 할 수 있는 게 되게 드래프트적으로 의미가 많이 커서 좋은 픽이라 생각해요.
So when we look into draft, it's so important to have some lanes to first pick like blind, and they don't have like that much counter. And then we think Lee Sin is one of those champion. We can just blind pick it.
Blind pick it like jungle or lane.
It's interesting because Lee Sin is one of those champion again. They could go top lane and jungle. That's why we can actually prioritize Lee Sin more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
산드라 서포트?
Can you
저거는
Yeah.
can you
Okay.
guys give like top 3 like champs you think are gonna be most important per lane? Because then maybe that would make people like understand better how you guys are thinking. Like top 3, top 4, whatever.
Top 3 or top 4 champions
Per lane, yeah.
per
Right.
lane. Okay. 탑은 구엘.
그웬,
잭슨.
잭슨?
잭스, 캐넨도 포함해야 되고요.
Renekton?
레넥톤은 어때? 레넥톤은 오히려 리스크가 클 수도 있을 것 같은데.
디펜던 팀인 것 같긴 해.
yeah.
이게 약간 헤럴드 싸움을 위로 할 거면은 레넥톤이 센데 그걸 잘 못 굴리면 애매해질 것 같아.
Yeah, so if you're a team that likes to snowball off Herald, I think Renekton's like a perfect pick. But if we are to choose top 3, I think it's gonna be Gwen, Cannon, and possibly Jax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously, like if there's a team who actually likes to blind first pick top lane, Renekton is obviously not bad every time.
근데 레넥톤이 되게 센 픽은 맞지만 카운터 픽이 너무 많은 게 조심해야 될 부분이에요.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like APs upcomings like in this patches. Like before, Renekton really didn't have a counter, but there is some like a lot of counters coming up against Renekton, so he might be really tough to just blind pick
Okay.
now.
그리고 정글로 더 가나요 이제?
Yeah, so let's move on to jungle. Not listen.
리스틴
리신 원탑.
리신 뭐 뽀삐 같은 게 더 높을 수 있고요. 우리 팀 게임에서는
아, 법이.
뽀삐, 리신, 녹턴 그리고 하나 더 하자면은 뽀삐, 리신, 녹턴 그래서 세주아니 정도까지. 그 라이너들이
그래서?
이제 근접팀 밀리챔프가 많아서.
So we think for jungle it's gonna be Lee Sin, Sejuani,
뽀삐,
and Poppy, and there's one more.
녹턴 I
And
guess.
maybe some Nocturnes as well.
Nocturne, okay.
Sejuani, even though she had a huge nerf on her W, like if we look at the champions that we are saying in top lane and mid lane, it's a lot of bruisers. So yeah, it just synergizes well with Sejuani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mid lane.
Mid lane, yeah. So let's move on to mid lane. My personal thinking is Jace, obviously. Jace is a very good blind pick along with Cassante.
제이스, 크산테, 아칼리.
아칼리. 오케이.
네 번째는 조마가 다를 것 같은데 사일러스도 고려할 수 있고 요니도 고려할 수 있고 오리아나 이 셋 중 하나가 고려될 만한 것 같아요.
Yeah, so top 2 we think is going to be Cassante and Jace.
Mm-hmm.
And third rank Akali. And then for fourth, I think it could be Oriana and Silas, depending on the comp.
Okay.
Yeah, but guys, please, like it's just for team games. Solo queue is different, obviously. Yeah, let's move on to ADC. ADC, like it's
세나랑 카이사가 좀 많이.
Senna and Kai'Sa.
네.
Yeah, I think just 그 다음에 승등은 없을까?
11호도 제가 봤을 때 인게이징에 도움돼서 11호도 좋다 생각해요. 그냥 그걸 알아서 넘겨주고.
Kai'Sa, yeah, we're thinking Kai'Sa and Senna for ADC. Maybe Sivir to help teams engage and then be more useful in like.
What about
Like-
Zari?
Yeah.
닐라가 좋아요. 닐라.
Oh yeah, Nilla is a really good pick as well.
닐라가
Oh,
브루더 카운터로 많이 쓰고 있어서 닐라도 많이 쓰고
Yeah,
있어요.
she's one of the ADCs very good against like bruisers.
mm-hmm.
And then during like a lot of these like fighting metas, like the levels are very important. And then Nilla has an advantage with like all those like levelings.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nilla could be a thing. Yeah, Senna. There's a lot of questions mark with Senna. Like Senna is always a good pick in team fights. She has just so much like abilities to support teams. Like she scales really well, and then if she's with like champions like with Pumpkin, they even win lanes. So yeah.
스크림에서는 그 이클립스랑 엄브렐라 그거 가는 거 말고 지금 폭풍갈키랑 인피 가는 거 크리티컬 세다 연구 많이 하고 있거든요. 그 패시브 크리티컬 데미지 사라져서. 근데 그게 많이 세다는 얘기가 많아요.
So for Senna, they patch, so there's no decreased damage for crit for Senna's passive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like studies being done with the crit build on Senna. But yeah, we
Yeah.
could be a bit.
They build Storm Rager and then IE instead of Eclipse and
Yeah,
Mana
Moon EMEA.
yeah.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
really strong.
Yeah. For support, Rakan obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Rakan,
the
Nautilus,
one.
Alista,
Yeah.
things.
All those like champions who loves to fight. Rakan, Nautilus,
Alista,
Alistar.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because hyper carry ADCs are nerfed, we do believe we're gonna see less supporting like supports like Lulu.
Yes. Less enchanters, more melee supports.
Thresh. What we think about Thresh?
Thresh.
Thresh is very like he tends to scale off quicker than all those like supports that we just said, like Alisa, Nautilus, and Rakan. So yeah, if there's like a lot of bans happening for support, we might see Thresh.
지금 나오는 캐릭터들한테 너무 약해요.
Yeah,
티어가
but
높지는
like
않아요.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Thresh.
저거 얘기할게요. 리산드라는 라칸 카운트로 원래 썼었는데 그 전열값주가 너프된 이후로는 잘 안 쓰는 추세예요. 나오는 버튼까지는 그 아이템이 좋아서 썼었는데 패치된 뒤로 아이템 빌드가 그렇게 좋진 않아가지고
전열값주 영어.
약간 아이템 그냥 아이템 빌드 썼는데 빌드가 밖에서 못 쓴다고 얘기하면
Yeah, so Lysandra, like her build was actually like set up, but the build is nerfed now, so I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Lysandra. So, and Lysandra was used to like counter Rakan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, after the item changes, we might not see Lysandra happening. Yeah, just like I think you guys are gonna see just like Rakan, Nautilus, Alisa. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more? Rel. Ash.
렐도 좋죠.
Yeah, Rel is like. Yeah, we still think Rel is good.
근데 렐이 정글 스왑 픽으로까지 계속 좋을지는 잘 모르겠어요.
Well, we're not sure if Rel is gonna be still relevant. Like jungle Rel and jungle Rel.
브라움은 상대방 조합이 완전히 들어오는 조합이다라는 거에 보이면은 뽑을 수 있는데 브라움은 카운터가 여러분도 아시다시피 원거리 챔피언에 대해서 내성이 거의 없는 편이다 보니까 완전 조건적으로 뽑을 수 있다 생각합니다.
Yeah. Braum.
브라움.
Yeah, so Braum. Some people ask about Braum. Like Braum, I think he's a really good pick, but his biggest weakness is laning phase. So if we just like as long as we're not blind picking him, he could be a good option.
And then I think there is no good ADC for Braum because hyper
Yeah.
carry is going down.
Yeah, hyper carry ADCs are going down, so there's not many ADCs that's suited with with Braum. So yeah.
Yeah. So only as a counter pick.
Mm-hmm. 핸드폰 없죠? So yeah. Any more questions?
One lane. Top lane is important, I guess. Top and mid lane is very important in early game. Million.
So we're just gonna take like few more questions, I think. Maybe Nemesis, can you choose like one or two that you think?
Let me see.
Yeah.
레드 사이드? I think 프로팀들은 레드 사이드 되게 선호할 것 같아요. 오피 챔피언 먼저 고르는 것보다 결국 타프 픽이 더 중요한 메타가 돼서.
Yeah, someone asked about blue or red.
Yeah.
We red because top meta is so important. It's gonna be really important to give the last pick to the top lanes.
Maybe like no, I don't see any like interesting questions. And okay, what about this one? Any weird picks you're expecting at Worlds?
Any weird picks?
윌드 픽? 이상한 픽.
Personally, obviously Olaf top.
음.
Because there's gonna be a lot of skirmish bases. I think like G2 is gonna be like why not? Yeah. They could be why not and then just like pick Olaf. So I think that's one of the interesting that we could see. Maybe if top is that, like if it becomes more important than we think are, I think some people might actually tend to choose Ignite as well.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So more Ignite Rumble. To just because like the laning priority is like that like very important. But obviously not everyone's gonna take Ignite. Obviously TP is like the most broken spell in League.
Are we still gonna see Static Shield LeBlanc?
Static Shiver block like LB. 스태틱 시브 LB는 어떻게 그러니까 르블랑은 어떻게 생각하세요?
그 한국 2, 3군 스크림에서는 스태틱에다가 요즘 트포 쓰는 빌드 많이 쓰고 있어요.
르블랑으로요?
네, 트라이포스 많이 쓸 거예요.
So in amateur scenes in Korea, we were actually testing LeBlanc with Static Shiv and Trinity Force.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting that way. So
네, that build is very strong
Yeah.
at side push.
yeah, she's like the most dominant side push.
Yeah,
Like,
split
she-
pushing with Toolbreaker third.
Yeah, with the Trinity Force and the Static Shiv.
Yeah.
And we know Riot actually nerfed Static Shiv, so like the AP champions don't really use it, but like we just find out other ways. Yeah.
그래서 르블랑은 스탯 높은데도 여전히 푸시가 안 좋아져도 하이템일 때 란전이 엄청 센 거랑 도로 정글 센 게 되게 엄청 티어가 높은 픽인 이유인 것 같습니다.
Yeah, she just like the items that builds up to static shifts are just like it works too well with LB.
Yeah.
So we do we do believe like there'll be people just keep testing out static shift LeBlanc. So yeah, like we'll take just one more last question and then yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, maybe some people are asking about Azir.
Azir.
쓸 수는 있는데 Q쿨 2초 늘어난 게 그 라인전 압박도 많이 못할 뿐더러 빠졌을 때 파미시 갱을 너무 세게 당할 수 있어서 이제 아지르를 블라인드 픽으로 세게 하는 거는 많이 위험하다고 생각합니다.
The 2-second cooldown nerf, we think it's huge because now like it's gonna be really hard to just like blind first pick Azir because it's going to be way more harder to actually pressure mid lane with Azir now. And then if you die to ganks, like Azir is always those champion if you lose like control. He's very hard. It takes so long to actually like recover as well. So yeah, it's gonna be. We can look at the team comp and pick Azir, but less teams gonna just like first blind pick Azir.
Oh,
But
wait,
yeah,
I have one more question. Are people buying Crown more now after the changes?
Crown?
그 부여왕이요.
네, 부여왕.
아이템.
그러니까.
네.
후영왕 더 많이 사는지 궁금해하시네요.
버프라고 생각하고 있어서 다들 버프라고 쓰는데 아지르는 너프인 게 아지르는 이제 W 이제 E로 들어가서 궁을 써야 할 때 그 부여왕이 짧은 시간 동안 잘 버티는 게 좋았는데 지금은 짧은 시간에 푹 들여 버티는 게 아니고 오래 버티면서 AP가 더 버텼거든요. 그래서 아지르에게 너프지만 그 외에 오리아나 같은 챔프에게는 매우 큰 버프여서 많이 실험하고 있다.
Yeah, so we think it's a huge buff, the crown. But maybe for champions like Azir who goes in and then just like ultis, like we don't think it's gonna be that good on like Azir's, but like for Oriana, yeah, definitely crown is like could be one of the OP items.
Okay.
Yeah, people tend to like no Azir mid lane. yeah, we don't like it as well. It's kind of boring to see us doing it. Like, we want to see more Yone, maybe Yasuo, Akali.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it.
Yeah, that's it with the questions part.
Yeah, that's what the question.
그러니까.
뭘 물어봐요? 제가.
직스 제라스.
아,
직스 제라스가 사실은 미드에서 나오기에는 좀 어려워요. 왜냐면 카운터 챔피언이 너무 많고 얘가 간단하게 2대2, 3대3 우리가 중요한 그 교전 메타에서 너무나 약한 모습을 보이기 때문에 거기서 포지션 자체가 그 싸움에 너무 그 수동적인 포지션을 잡을 수밖에 없기 때문에 나오기가 어렵다 생각합니다.
This is the last question that we're gonna answer. And if you have any more, feel free to join our community. And then yeah, just like you can just ask us any questions there. So the question that we're gonna answer last is that there were some people asking about Azir, no, not Azir, Zera
Zera's
and
and
Ziggs.
네.
Personally, they're very bad because their bots are too heavy. No, it's like yeah. So it's gonna be like we said multiple times. Like it's gonna be a lot of skirmish, like bait
네.
meta, but like Ziggs and Xerath is never good in like small 2v2s and like 3v3.
네.
Yeah.
They are good at
They're good at like
control mage.
yeah. So they're control mages. So before objectives like pokings and like when they're grouped as a 5v5, obviously they shine then. But there's gonna be a lot of like important fights happening even before like 5v5 matchups, like 5v5 team fights. So yeah, yeah, I think Ziggs and Xerath are pretty bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the last question we're gonna answer. I think that's it for today. But before we wrap it up, please like we do have a promotion going on by end of September, like $99 promotions. So please look up GGA, and then if you liked our Q&A sessions, like you can always ask and join our community and like integrate, like communicate with our coaches. Like we have about 30 coaches active, like ex pros. So you can just like freely ask questions there. Yeah.
It is an innovation because you can upgrade your League of Legends skills at home. At home.
Yeah,
When?
so-
Until September.
So we have an online. So it's like online program, so you can just do it at home as well. And we have a lot of like we have a very amazing community, like passionate gamers, and then we're trying really hard to like actually like play along with our community as well. Like there's a lot of staffs playing in our community as well. So yeah, please look up GGA. There's a promotion going on by end of September. So yeah.
We are selling on September. Until
Yeah.
September.
Only
Yeah.
99.
Yeah, it's limited seats only, so please, first in, first served.
Yeah, check out the links in the chat and thank you guys for doing this.
Yeah, thank you Nemesis for having us today. It was very fun talking about it because we only talked to each other. We don't actually tend to talk to like a lot of people, like 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So it was actually really entertaining to share what we think. But yeah, so like we officially launched our program, so please guys have a look. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
It's going to be amazing. It's gonna be very fun, Wolves, with a lot of fights.
I
See you
hope
next
so.
year.
I hope Genji wins.
Yeah, please Genji wins so we can actually.
Please, please.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Nemesis. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
Oops. Maybe I left a bit early. Oopsie. I think he was still talking. Yo, thanks for the subs. XAG, Fiodin, Artemis, and Witcher. Thank you for subs, guys. I need to go to the toilet really badly, okay?